Okay, I was not prepared for
Oh
that.
yeah! You gotta get swifty! You gotta get swifty in here! It's time to get swifty!
This video is brought to you by CyberGameway, with an emphasis on exposing streamers of all types, as well as exploring business relationships with partnered websites and service providers. CyberGameway is the place you want to be for streaming gamers who want that sub bump. To apply for membership or sponsorship, head over to cybergameway.com.
So I was not prepared for this at all. And so what I can tell you is this is the Wraith, or at least it's going to be. Yeah. So when I say I was not prepared for this, I don't know if I can be any more literal in that context, because I literally got asked to do this probably about 3 days ago. So I was already in the midst of this build when CyberGameway asked me to do the show. So we will just proceed as if this was still in one piece. What this is it's a Corsair Carbide Spec 1. It's a mid-tower case. It's a few years old. I like the Carbide cases because they sort of have almost a minimalist but yet intimidating look to it. A couple other companies have done something like that, like Enermax and stuff. But Corsair, the way they present the Carbide series, it's kind of reminds me of brutalist architecture, which was, if you've ever seen the courthouse in Boston, that's brutalist architecture. It's simple and yet it's sort of intimidating at the same time, which I like. So, new news. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to paint this, since I was already in the midst of doing that anyway, and then reassemble the chassis, and then we'll go from there. It's not going to be anything super beastly because this isn't really meant for that. It's really just for the aesthetic. So some fabrication, some paint, it's going to look really, really cool. There's been something similar. Jay's 2 Cents did something like this a little bit ago. He made a matte black PC called Dark Knight. This is going to be a lot more than that, because thanks to my friends at Culture Hustle, I have this, which is called Black 3.0. It's an acrylic paint that has so much pigment in it, it absorbs 99% of the light shown on it. So this is pretty cool. You can, by the way, get this in September 2019. So I highly recommend that you do, because it is super cool. And so when this is done, anything that isn't RGB or inside the actual chassis will be like fumbling around in the dark. So imagine fumbling around in the dark just to turn the damn thing on, and you can get some sort of idea as to how dark this is going to be. Super cool stuff. So now, quick change.
EKSA introduces their new AirJoy Pro headphones. Weighing in at only 160 grams, the AirJoy Pro offers enthusiast-grade 7.1 digital surround sound while providing maximum comfort at a fraction of the cost of a major brand name series. For more information, visit eksa.net.
So now that I have my clothes on, this is my girlfriend's ex-boyfriend's shirt that I'm probably just going to ruin. So that's fun. And I've got my crap shorts, I've got my crap shorts on, and now it's time to get along, little doggy, with this paint crap. So let's do that. So I've taken the window out of the left side of the case, but what I'm also going to be doing is cutting a hole in the right side of the case. And so with that in mind, what I've done is I've gotten a piece of 3/8 Lexan, it's the black stuff, and I've already masked and painted part of it. Pretty nifty. You can see that black is really, really black. And then I've just masked off the left side. This is everything I'm going to cut out of this. The Reaper scythe is kind of a cool theme with what I'm going here. The idea was like the ring wraiths and that sort of stuff, the angels of death, things like that. So I like this whole sort of tentacle thing. So I'm going to do this later. The first thing I have to do is mask off the front part of these doors and all the chassis stuff, because I have to do the white first. The white I'm doing with spray paint,
and that, once it dries, I can mask off easily. The issue with the black 3.0 is that it's very sensitive. I'm going to have to do multiple coats with an airbrush in order to get it as thick and dark as possible, but even then I need to treat it very, very sensitively. Even when I sell it, I'm going to have to wrap it with this green plastic wrap in order not to scratch it in transit. But it's going to be very solid, it's going to be very black. The issue is just that I have to do the white first. So that's what we're going to do. An interesting thing about what I'm doing with the masking is, I don't know if you can see that, but I've masked the hard drive light, and then I've masked the SKU code. But I've also taken pictures of everything that I'm masking off, because when I'm done, I'm gonna have to peel all this tape off, and I'm not gonna know where it is. I know some of you are thinking it cannot possibly be that black. Well, just wait. Now we're at an entirely different place, about 30 miles from where I live. It's my girlfriend's house in her father's garage, and you sort of have to work with what you got. In this case, filthy everything. First thing on the docket is cleaning this up, because I cannot stand working with filthy accommodations. So that is what's on the docket first. Alright, so that's about as clean as I'm gonna get it. It's still, I mean, it's better, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay down a piece of fabric or something so I can sit there and mask without having to worry about scratching the edges. It's not like it's gonna matter because I'm gonna paint over it, but I'm still sort of a stickler for that kind of, because you might be able to see the scratches through the paint. So, to work. You know, sometimes I wonder why people don't do more of this kind of thing when they're building their PCs. And then I have to do this, and my first thought is, oh, what you may be seeing is that all I just did was masked off the little foam things that prevent vibration on the power supply. That's all I did, and it took me 10 minutes. The inside of the case is going to be white, so I have to do that first, because spray paint will be a hell of a lot easier to mask off in its finality. It'll be a hell of a lot easier to mask and then peel than the black 3.0. So, this I don't have to mask at all, because one, it's all just going to be white anyway, and I don't even know if I'm going to use it. So, onward. Okay, so we've got everything masked off that I'm going to start painting with white. These are actually the spacers, so I'm going to paint the front of them black, but I'm going to paint this white just so you know where they actually are. And yeah, we're all good to go, and so now it's time to move all this crap outside to paint. Okay, so we've got everything white, which is good because I completely ran out of paint. So we still have the other door to do, but I have to cut it first. So maybe another can of spray paint will do good, because I see some gaps in the paint. Oh well, fuck it. It will be golden when it's done. And I mean metaphorically golden, not, you get the point. Alright, welcome back to
the actual workshop. So I have the other side panel, which I haven't yet painted, because first what I need to do is cut a window. So I've got my drill press out because I don't like using the Dremel to do the tight little turns. So I'm going to drill a hole in each of the corners, drill a nice big hole so that I can just carve out of that and with a straight line. So they'll be nice and they'll be rounded corners, and here we go. There we go. Nice and pretty. So now what I can do is just use the angle grinder and just cut straight lines off of this. And it'll be pretty damn good to go. Okay, so now we've got our window cut and it's all nice and ground and smooth and stuff. So next thing to do is to mask off the outer part of it so we can paint the inside white, and then afterwards we'll do the black. So, interesting stuff. What I've done so far is I painted one of the windows already. This is the second one, this is the front one. And just watching the paint dry, right, that's very fresh. It's not going to be like this at all. It's going to be more like that. And it's really, really interesting to see the paint like drying and just everything that I painted on, it's just all the definition is disappearing. All the depth, it's just going to be negated by the black paint. So it'll be really, really interesting to see how this is done, because that's what I'm interested in right there. Once this dries, it's just going to be amazing. So what we've done is I have done 2 coats of the black 3.0, and as you can see, like, it has started to lose all definition. I might actually do another coat because using water on this tends to thin it out, and I'm not sure I got it right. I had it pretty good last time, but it's a little thinner, and I'm kind of noticing some things, so might actually do a 3rd coat. But you can see, like, this is pretty damn black. So we'll see how it dries a little bit more. So one of the things that I had to realize very quickly is that if I was going to do this right, I was going to have to dismantle the entire frickin' case. And so what I've done is I broke it all down into different pieces. What I'm not doing is, as you'll see, there's only 3 pieces of the actual 4-part chassis. So what I am not painting is the front part of the chassis, if for no other reason than I would like to keep a little bit of light reflection where the fans are. And also since the front part of the actual case is painted, then it won't really be necessary. So after all this work, I've got the case back together, and right now you can see this is like when it is in this kind of light, it looks a little bit more reflective than I would like. But when you are in a game room, see, there's a custom cut window, which I am pretty impressed with considering how much grinding I had to do. So yeah, when you are in a dimly lit gaming room, it will be, like I've said many times, like fumbling around in the dark to turn it on to do anything. But you'll see fans going on. There will be some slight LEDs in the bay, up here probably, and maybe down there, who knows.
But it's looking really, really sweet. Pretty impressed with it. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna look super sweet. So what I'm doing too now is I've already cut the GPU cover. I've 3D printed it, which will be pretty nifty looking. What I'm also doing is I got this polycarbonate right here, and I'm going to make a power supply cover for the Seasonic. And I think it'll turn out pretty good. I've never done this before, so a lot of stuff that I do with building PCs, especially in the last year or two, has turned into a labor of love, because I end up like finding things to learn how to do. One of the ones, like I learned how to use an angle grinder. Another one I had to go out and, well, this one particularly, I had to go out and find an airbrush kit worth of shit and learn how to use that. So that's been an interesting thing. I'm pretty sure I've still got my plexiglass cutter somewhere. So what I'm doing right now is, I noticed this when I was putting the case down on the floor, is there is sort of kind of a curved lip on the Spec 1 motherboard mounting plate. So what I had planned to do is just cut this entire part off. But I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut it here at, is it 9 1/4? Yeah, I'm going to cut it at 9 1/4 inch, because the bend happens at around 9 1/2 inches. Ladies. Make a happy little line right there. So this is just going to bend up, and it'll make a nice sort of shroud for the cable hole. So as you can see, we've got the plate cut, and I was kind of a dumbass about it, because there's all kinds of dust now that I probably should not be breathing in. But I'm an ex-tanker, and there's a rumor going around from the whole time I was there that inhaling and touching the synthetic jet fuel whenever we were refueling the tanks would probably result in some kind of undiscovered form of cancer. So I have that to look forward to anyway, So your boy Hobbs cut off the part that he was going to bend.